Hello everybody and welcome back to Dr. Ghost Games. If you are new to the channel, welcome. I'm Dr. Ghost and I make content for the game World of Warships Legends. Today we're going to be in the USS Arizona on Haven. It is a capture the base mode and we are going to be joined by a division mate. His name is Federal Titan. Keep in mind he is in my clan and we did manage to get into the same game last match, so I was like, screw it, how about we division up? And let's play a match. I'm trying to get a match for you guys and something good. And this match, let me tell you guys, this match turned out to be very, very good. And you guys, I think, are going to really, really enjoy it. It's a long match, but it's a really fun match. So, right off the bat, we have an enemy Fuso here. We do fire off all of these 14-inch guns at this Fuso. And let's see what they do. They look decent. He is angled in a bit. And unfortunately, we don't get much. We only get about 3,000 damage. So we're like, okay, that's all right. So we're going to switch our guns over to this side of the map and see what we can do. Now, if you guys aren't aware, the Arizona was in Pearl Harbor. This ship did get sunk. In real life, it has some pretty infamous history behind it for a lot of the wrong reasons. But it's also a good ship in game. It's got 12 14-inch guns, 2 turrets in the front, 2 turrets in the back. Each turret has 3 guns. So, yeah, it's really good. It's got really decent armor. It's got really bad speed, but that's to be expected. It is an American dreadnought. Now, we do get a better hit on that Fuso. We do manage to knock out one of his guns and get about 4,000 damage with these nice 14-inch guns. And now we're waiting to see if we have a target here. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to roll around the island, so we're not going to be able to get a shot in on that California or that Furataka. Now we see the Okotnik over here, and our team looks to be doing a pretty good job about him, and they look to be screwing him up quite a bit. And there is Federal Titan shells going in there as well, and there is our shells, and look at that dispersion. And yeah, we do manage to get 3 over penetrations, and we do manage to get around 3,000 damage as well. So the match is going to start off really slow, as you guys can see. Not a lot of huge damage salvos yet, but once the match really starts getting going, and once things start rolling around, you guys are going to see what's going to happen. It's going to be fun, and there's going to be a lot of damage to be done. And you guys are going to see plenty of that. Now, one thing about the Arizona that I seem to have a lot of problems with, like even not just the Arizona, but a lot of ships, but especially this one, I get a lot of overpens on cruisers. Now, you guys aren't going to see that much of that in this battle, but this thing does have some overpen issues. I do tend to overpen on a lot of cruisers when they go broadside. But unlike this Hawkins here, who thinks he is freaking Jackie Chan and he can take everything, we fire a full salvo off, and look at that dispersion, literally inside each other, and pow! Absolute deletion, back to port you go, first blood, devastating strike, 2 citadels, and he's gone. I bet you he was not expecting that at all. Now, that was lucky, right? We could have got a bunch of overpens there and that wouldn't have been worth it, but fortunately, the RNG gods blessed us and we did manage to remove that cruiser. And hopefully he learns next time not to go broadside in front of 3 battleships. Yeah, that's not a very good idea, and he paid the price for it. Now, the enemy has already lost, I think, their Okotnik, and they have lost, of course, their Hawkins, and we have lost one of our destroyers as well, and the enemy has just lost another ship. So, the enemy is already losing. They've already lost 3 out of the 9 ships they have, and they're not looking too good, right? We've only lost 1 ship. We lost one of our destroyers. Now, what we're trying to do here is we're going to do a middle push, because as you guys can see here, the enemy looks to be circling back. The Queen Elizabeth is running to the other side of the map to join her friends, along with their team is kind of like doing just a clockwise pattern. They're just circling around the map. So what we're going to do is we're going to push down the middle and go right through that gap there, as you guys can see to the left of my sight, and we're going to see if we can push these guys and do some good amount of damage, and which is what we're going to do. And because nobody's going to stop us from doing this, we can. They're all running to this side of the map. They're all lemon training over here, so it's going to be pretty good for us to just get on in here and do some things. Now, we're going to get into a pickle here soon, and you guys are going to see what kind of pickle we're going to get into, but it's not going to be a fun one, but we're still going to somehow manage to pull out of it and absolutely nuke all of these guys. Now, the California is angling away. However, he does have a lot of superstructure, and as you guys can see there, that's some really decent dispersion, And yeah, we do absolutely pound them there for almost 10,000 damage, and bringing our overall damage up to 48,115. Not bad at all. Now, we're basically, all we're doing now is waiting for some targets of opportunity to arise. We're trying to wait for ships to make mistakes so we can take shots at them and ultimately capitalize on those mistakes. Now, as you guys can see here, this Furataka, just like his friend in the Hawkins, is not learning too well. Now, he is turning away, so we do hold our shot, and he eventually stops turning. It looks like he's going to turn out, so we fire off our front guns. And this is what I mean with the overpens. Yeah, that is definitely annoying. He's angled. I don't know how I'm getting overpens. It might be superstructure pens. It might be just barely missing the citadel. But yeah, definitely frustrating nonetheless. But it's okay, because we're going to take a shot off, I believe, at one of these guys here. Now we see a destroyer, a Menakaze. And if we let that guy live, we know what's going to happen to our team. We need to get destroyers off the board, so we do take a shot off at that Menakaze. And unfortunately miss him. But we're still following the strategy of taking shots at destroyers regardless of what you have loaded. Destroyers need to die, especially Japanese destroyers. They're a huge threat to your team, not just Japanese, but all destroyers. And if you can take shots at them, please do, no matter what you're in. Unless you have like no HP and you're trying to hide, then that's different, right? But destroyers need to die. So, however, our team, I think, is going to be able to handle them. And yes, our P.E. Frederick does manage to take down that enemy, Menakaze. And there we go. Now, this is the middle push I'm talking about, this little gap here. And as you guys can see, my friend there is getting absolutely crapped on. He's getting torped by a Fubuki. He's getting shot by a Queen Elizabeth. He's getting shot by a Fuso. He's not long for this world. He's going to die. But since I have full health, and he has basically taken all the damage for me, and ultimately sacrificed his life so I can move up here, I'm going to manage to pull something off that's absolutely crazy. And you guys are going to see that here very shortly. Now, of course, this Fuso is angling pretty well, and I don't even know if I want to shoot at him, but I still believe we do fire off a salvo anyway. Here very shortly, we're waiting for back guns to get loaded, or front guns to get loaded. And we do fire off a full salvo at that partially angled Fuso, hoping to get some good damage, and let's see what we get. That dispersion looks pretty good, and yeah, we get some pretty good hits. We get a few penetrations, a couple overpens, the regular. Now, what we're doing, we could have got absolutely smacked there, but what we're doing here is we're trying to angle against all the other guys behind me, and we're going to see if we can take out this Queen Elizabeth. We need to get her off the board, because she has 15-inch guns. 15-inch guns are fully capable of overmatching my bow or stern or whatever, and absolutely crapping on me. She's the biggest threat, and we need to take that ship out. Now, she is angling, but however, we aim in superstructure, and we get a really decent hit, and we get our high caliber as well, and bringing our damage almost up to 100,000 damage. We are at 95k. Now, as you guys can see here, our destroyer does manage to get all of his torpedoes to land, and he does take out the Queen Elizabeth, and there we go. So now we don't have to worry about her no more. So now this flank is all done. So now all we got to worry about are the 4 guys over there. Now, as you guys can see on the team, we're actually losing this game, right? We are losing this game. And the problem is, if we just run off, we're not going to be able to win. We need to kill some ships, or we need to cap their base. But the problem is also, there's an enemy Fubuki in their base, which means we have to fight for this win. They're leading nearly by, what, 300 points? So we have to do something in order to get this win. So I am like, screw it, I'm going to rush into the cap. I'm going to go bow on, hopefully to litigate any torpedoes that get shot at me, and I'm going to take shots at these battleships, and hope to God my destroyer gets up here and spots this enemy Fubuki. Now, we're up to 100,000 damage, 103,000 to be precise. And yeah, we're just basically slugging this out like dreadnoughts are supposed to do. Every so often, every 35 seconds, we were firing off these 14-inch guns at these guys, hoping to get some good hits. This Furataka, his luck has got to run out eventually. He's screwing up. He's going broadside. We take a full salvo of armor piercing, and that looks really good. And back to port he goes. A citadel, an incapacitation, and our second kill of the game. And our damage up to 118,000 damage. And we're not done yet. And as you guys can see, we did slow down, and we did manage to avoid all these Fubuki torps yet again, but he's going to be reloaded in about 30 seconds. How I know this is because Fubuki has around a 58-second reload if you want to build it for that, but basically around a minute reload. And by the time those hit near me, he's got about 30 seconds to 20 seconds left on his torpedoes. And we did also take a smack by, I believe, the California off to our right. And what we're doing here is we're turning away, hopefully to angle to the California and the Fuso. We got very lucky there again, showcasing that weird armor that some of these American dreadnoughts have. And we did manage to litigate most of the damage that Fuso shot at us. And then the destroyer decides to pop up. And he's rushing towards me. And that's not a very smart idea, because we're about to have all of our guns reloaded here shortly. And unfortunately, one of our turrets was knocked out, so we only have 3 guns to shoot. That's still 9 guns getting shot at him. And yeah, we did take about almost all of his health. He's got no HP left. He's trying to turn to get his torpedoes off, so we have no choice but to turn in here and to hopefully avoid any torpedoes he sends at us. Although we are going to give some broadside to the battleships, I'd rather test my luck than get hit by torpedoes and die. And we did manage to dodge every single one of those Fubuki torpedoes yet again, taking down the Fubuki, getting our 3rd kill of the game, 132,000 damage, and we're not done yet, and we're not going to die, right? We are not going to die. We're going to angle to the California, we're going to get our heal, and we're going to get our back guns off on that California, and our Mayhan, I believe, is going to rush down, or this Fubuki is going to rush down this California, and he's going to try to torp him. Now, I thought I was dead here, but fortunately for the Arizona's armor, we are not dead, and we are still alive, and we have 2 seconds left on the repair, and now we have a repair, and we're going to heal back some of our health and still stay in this fight. And yeah, like I said in the thumbnail, you can't stop me. Haha! Because I have all the heals in the world, and we're going to see what we can do still. Now, as you guys can see, our destroyer is pushing around that island, giving a surprise attack to this California, and down goes the California. Good job, Fubuki. Fubuki is coming in clutch, and that's it. We turned this game from a loss to a victory, and everybody played their part. I played my part, the destroyer played their part, and I don't know what the battleship did, the Iron Duke. He was a tier 4, I don't know what he did. But we all played our part, and we managed to pull this one out of the bag. Now, we could still lose this, but we are not going to lose this. And we're going to do what we can do here to kill this Fuso and ultimately secure the win. Now, overall thoughts on the Arizona. I don't think I've done a review on this ship, so I'm going to make it quite brief. I think the Arizona is great. It's just like any other American dreadnought, just like the Tennessee, the New Mexico. I think it's better out of the two. I think this is the better ship out of the Tennessee and the New Mexico, and even the California. California is good, really good, but I still think Arizona is better. But that might be my bias kicking in because I just had a good game. But yeah, I do really enjoy the Arizona. It's not a bad ship, and when it wants to work, it freaking works, as you guys can see here. And it's a really nice ship. It's not bad at all. And it's tier 5 premium. You guys can get it in the store for about 10,000 doubloons if you guys want it that bad. And yeah, so we're almost done with the match here. All we need to do is remove this Fuso, and we are done. We are angling in, of course. We don't want to get hit for a huge amount of damage and lose our ship here. We're trying to angle in as best we can. We're doing the Dreadnought Shuffle. We shoot off a salvo, angle in. When we're ready to shoot again, then we shoot off another salvo and rinse and repeat. And that's what it's all about at these low tiers, especially with these Dreadnoughts, really with any ship. And we do get another salvo off. And unfortunately, we don't get anything good. We get a couple pens, but no citadels or anything. That Fuso's been getting quite lucky, but I've also been getting quite lucky as well, so I'll take it. It's still alrighty. And it looks like our destroyer is going to manage to torpedo him and get a flood on him and ultimately take him down. And back to port, that Fuso goes. And that is the end of the match. I hope you all did enjoy this one. It's been a fun one, and it's been quite a long one as well. Damn near down to the wire, and 150,000 damage, a bunch of medals, a victory, and that's about it. I hope you all did enjoy this one. If you did, don't forget to punch the like button, subscribe, comment down below. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. Stay healthy as always.